Video.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a wonderful day. Whatever time you're watching and listening, hello to you, whatever time it is. And I am just so grateful that you are here with me today. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Today we're talking about everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. Everybody, and I believe that with everything in me, that everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. I just believe it, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with me that even the most heinous people, the most evil people want to be loved by somebody. So I have a couple of articles. One is talking about, of course, it's Psychology Today. Now, you know, Psychology Today is one of my favorites. And the first article will be by John Amadeo, PhD, MFT, and it will be, let me get back to that topic because I have it here. I have it on different, so I want to make sure that I have it right here. Who's living in your life is one of them, and why we like being appreciated in Psychology Today. So both of them are in Psychology Today. Why we like being appreciated. And like I said, even the person who does so many things that are offensive and they act evil and do evil things, they want love too. And then even the people who talk and spew all kinds of divisive rhetoric, they want love too. But because if they didn't want someone to appreciate them, why are they looking for an audience to speak to and for people to agree with
Email
them?
63 more
That's
emails.
being
Email
appreciated.
Walmart plus your early
That's
access to
being
deals is coming.
appreciated.
Smiling face with open
My
hands.
phone is talking and it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be
Quick
talking.
settings. On set. On. On. Vibrate on. On.
So I'm going to have to deal with it.
Home button. One UI home.
So
Foremost fam. Recent. Recent app. Double.
I'm just going
Check
to have to
background
deal
activity.
with it.
These app.
I am going to have to deal with it.
Done. Recent app.
Okay.
Apps. Face. Facebook.
I'm
Back
monitor
button.
my hair, and sometimes this gets a little out of hand, but I deal with it. So thank you so much for your patience. Why is being appreciated? Why we like being appreciated? Even the people that do the things, like I said, they spread all kinds of divisive rhetoric. Some people do all kinds of evil, mean things to other people, but they yet want love too. They want love and they need it too. Why we like being appreciated? 5 ways that gratitude nourishes us. And this is April 23rd in 2016, and it's reviewed by Q Hagen. And this is John Armadillo, PhD, MFT, as I stated before. I always like to give credit to the people whose research and information I use always, always. 5 ways that gratitude nourishes us. And I was sitting there and just thinking, and it came to me that everybody wants to be loved, even though it's not a new thought, but it was one that just really came and hit me today. Everybody, no matter what kind of life they live, what they do during their lives, how they think, whatever they do, they still want to be loved and appreciated. And you can tell that by their actions and what they do. And they might say, I don't care, I don't care. But no, no, no. Everybody, I believe, wants to be loved and appreciated. So here we go. This is, we all like being appreciated, but have you ever wondered why? What is it about receiving gratitude that nourishes us? What is it about receiving gratitude that nourishes us? And then, even those, like I say, who do the evil things, and even, well, I'm talking about evil right now, the evil things, they want somebody to cheer them on and push them on, and that gives them the more gumption to do and do more of what they are spreading. And then for people who are doing the good things, that helps them too. You appreciate them and you build them up, and that gives them more courage to do more good. So we all like being appreciated. That, I believe, is a true statement for every single person. Even animals love to be appreciated. But have you ever wondered why? What is about receiving gratitude that nourishes us? So, here are 5 possible reasons how we're touched, tickled, and delighted when others float appreciation towards us. So, we're being valued. And I believe everybody wants to be valued. Everybody doesn't have the same values, but everybody wants to be valued. So we're being valued. 5 things about wanting appreciation, gratitude, and love. We perform a good deed, and someone offers a warm thank you, a reassuring nod, or a gracious posture or gesture. Perhaps we share a poem, show an art project, or fix a leaky faucet, and we're praised and validated for it. In that moment, someone takes the time to notice and value us amidst our fast paced life. And I think about it, it's just coming across my mind. Even those people, sometimes people give up. They give up psychologically, emotionally, because of experiences they've uh, had, things that they've endured. And they come to the point, well, there's no use in me trying to do good things. I'll just do this and that. I don't care. I don't care, because of things that have happened in their life, their past experiences. And some things are so traumatic to some people, just don't have any hope. And here on this show, on Greater Gospel Temple and Inspiration of God Ministries, on the Mother's Board, on the 5 minutes of prayer on Mondays, in my whole life, I am praying for those people, because that is a lonely place to be, where trauma causes you to lose hope and you don't care. You say you don't care and you just do whatever, whichever you think, to harm somebody else, to express your frustrations, and other people and things feel the brunt of it. But every single person in this world, whether they say it or admit it or not, They want love and appreciation. They want gratitude. Gratitude. So, when they fix a leaky faucet or done something and people take time to tell them thank you, I
Patsy A.
appreciate
Read
you,
Patsy A. Read
I
reacted to the real
appreciate
point of
you
view with Ms. Shirley Polk.
about being valued feels good if we only let it in fully. And some people are so there's a phrase shell shocked there, and there's another word paranoid. They've had so many different negative experiences in their lives, and the negatives in their lives outweigh the positives in their minds. That's how they see it. And people just sometimes give up and say, oh, well, anyway, whatever happens is going to happen. I'm just going to take somebody along with me. Or that, like I said, they spread hate and rhetoric and all of that, and they want somebody, they want an audience, and they do get an audience, and that makes them go 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 go, just like people doing good, and they're getting praise and they're getting appreciation, and that encourages them to do more good. So it works both ways. But some people, it's pitiful, it's so sad that some people have given up hope and anything goes, and whatever happens to me, it'll just happen. Some people actually think like that. And we are praying and believing and trusting that people will hear this show, that they will hear other people's webcasts and see them and hear the positivity, and that their minds and hearts will be changed. That is our determination. That is our goal. Yes, it's our goal. Many of us out that are doing the virtual webcast, our goal is to help someone to see the good in spite of all of the evil that's going on, and for people to see that people appreciate and love them, and they can turn away from those things that are detrimental to themselves and others, and know and feel appreciation from someone somewhere. Children need to feel valued so that they can gradually internalize self valuing. We develop our sense of self from how we're perceived by others. How we're perceived by others. Yes, if we receive positive mirroring, we feel good about ourselves. That positivity, I'm telling you. As adults, we also thrive on positive feedback from our environment. Being valued and appreciated reinforces a positive sense of self worth. Oh, yes, it does. And there is a precious moment of contact when we are recognized and validated. When we are recognized and validated. I remember when I don't know, it was my first time subbing in the ninth grade, but at senior high school in Denison. So when the teacher was briefing me, I was subbing. It was the ninth grade, and I remember the ninth grade because I was one of
Screen
those
off. Ringer silent.
one of those ninth graders who, well, yeah, into it. So I understand the ninth grade and the fourth grade especially. I do. So
1:16
while the
p.m.
teacher
Device locked.
was
AT&T.
briefing me,
System
we were
UI.
standing in the door.
Selected
So one
AT&T.
of the students, because we were talking, I was checking the class out. You know how you do your your search and your site search and everything. Those of you and anybody and
Screen off.
anywhere
Ringer
that
silent.
you know how we search out the situation and look and we get a feel of the atmosphere. So one of the students said, "Don't leave us, she'll get us." And that young man became, I guess he became my compadre while I was teaching that class and subbing that day. Oh, and he came up there, he wanted to he said his desk by me, and all we just got along really well, really well. He was really good, but he was the one that said, "Don't leave us; she'll get us." But I was kind to them. Not that the teacher wasn't kind. I'm not saying that, but I showed them that I was there to help them and to be there to help them any way I could, and be there in the teacher's stead. And so that I remember that vividly, because he said, "Don't leave us; she'll get us." And then he ended up being up there wanting to sit by me the whole class time, and anything that he thought I needed done, he wanted to do it because he saw that I appreciated him just by being kind to him. And not just, but that means a lot. Some people are mean and hateful and everything, but they do want to be loved too. I just really believe that. I don't think there is a single person that is here and that has ever been here and that ever will be that does not want to be loved and appreciated. There's a precious moment of contact when we are recognized and validated. We're being seen. We're being seen. Someone we respect comments on our kindness or caring, or a friend recognizes and appreciates our goodness, wisdom, or compassion. We feel good when a person recognizes qualities that we appreciate about ourselves. It feels good to be seen. Oh, yes, it does. It feels good to be seen. And I admit that myself. It feels good to be seen and appreciated. It doesn't feel good when you know people are intentionally trying to look over you and make you not feel important or valued. But the thing about me is, praise the Lord, yes. And many of us is that we have self appreciation. We have self value, and we've learned to value ourselves and appreciate ourselves down through the years. And that is what keeps us going. Oh, yes, naturally keeps us going. A person, if they feel undervalued, they don't feel appreciated, that can cause them to have psychological trauma and problems. And then when you have the psychological uh, depression and all that sets in, then it affects your body, your physical well being. All of that works together. So I want to never, ever, ever cease to appreciate people, because I know that people want love and appreciation, because I know I do. Now, I'm not going to fall off the wagon because of some things that some people do, because the Lord has blessed me to go and move past all of that, because, like I said, He has given me that self worth, that value, self value, and it, all of it. And I thank him for it, but everybody doesn't have that. And we all have to learn to appreciate ourselves, value ourselves, our self worth. We must do that for ourselves, because we are not always going to get that appreciation from the outside. So we have to have it on the inside. And there is a precious moment of contact when we are recognized and validated. And I know I've repeated that twice. We're being seen. Someone we respect comments on our kindness or caring, or a friend recognizes and appreciates our goodness, our wisdom, or our compassion. We feel good when a person recognizes qualities that we appreciate about ourselves. It feels good to be seen. And then when they appreciate those things, then that validates us even more. Oh, yes, it does. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Lady Patsy, for being here. I'm pretty sure you heard my phone telling me you're here.
1:22 p.m.
Okay.
Device locked.
I have my phone
System UI.
on the talk back.
Move up. Unlocked.
And so
Device unlocked. Facebook.
anyway, it's on the talk
Visit.
back. And I
Button
thought
to reactions.
I
Double tap to activate.
closed it, but anyway, we might take a risk to share vulnerable feelings with a lover, with a friend, or therapist. Rather than judge or fix us, they listen with kindness and uh, openness, and as well as an appreciation for how we're trusting them with something tender inside us. We feel good to be seen and appreciated as we share our sorrow, our fear, our joy, and other feelings. Everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. I just believe that. Oh, yes, I do. I really believe it.
Video.
And everybody needs love
Go
too.
back. Button out of list.
Everybody
Double tap to
needs love.
activate.
We're being liked. We're being liked. Okay? Is the next part. Being appreciated goes along with being liked. If you think about someone you appreciate because of their, come on, mouse, kind, caring, or friendly attitude, you probably like that person. There's something about liking and being liked that warms our hearts and brings a smile to our faces. That's for real. Because some people can give appreciation for what you've done, but they might not like you. And sometimes it's vice versa. Okay? Now, it may be easier to love someone than to like them. And I'm putting it this way, we must love everyone in spite of as human beings. We don't have to love what they do if it's detrimental to humankind and the world. We don't have to like that. And then some people say, I love him, her, but I don't like them. And that is the truth. We can love people, but don't like their ways, don't like the things they do. We can love them and keep our distance. Oh, yes, we can. I believe that. So it may be easier to love someone than to like them. Maybe you love a parent, but don't really like them. Or perhaps you have loving feelings for a former partner or even a current one, but you may not feel a spontaneous liking toward them. And that seems to be maybe kind of confusing, but it's really not, because you can appreciate a person and things they might do which are good, but then you still might not like them and you don't want to be around them, but you may not feel a spontaneous liking toward them. Maybe you've felt judged and shamed, or trust has been broken in ways that left you feeling unseen and unappreciated. It's difficult to like someone when we have a real or imagined sense of not being respected, valued, and appreciated. That is really a point. Next, it deepens a sense of meaning in our lives if we're valued, if we're appreciated. Okay? So it deepens a sense of meaning in our lives, and I'm in psychology today. All right? So when someone offers appreciation for an article or talk, it reminds, I want to make sure I can do this without this. It reminds me, says the doctor, the author of this, that what I'm doing is meaningful. So hearing that I've affected somebody in some small way adds meaning to my life. And how about your life? When somebody tells you something, say, "Oh, I heard this or you did this, and I really appreciate that, and I really did enjoy this. I enjoyed that. I thank you for doing this. I thank you for doing that." That makes you feel good. It feels good to hear, he said, that I've affected someone in a positive way. Next, the Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl developed an approach to psychotherapy that he called logotherapy, which suggests that human beings are motivated by a will to meaning. Okay? A will to meaning. We flourish when we live with a sense of meaning and purpose. We may flounder or get depressed when we lack meaning. And that is might be a little confusing to someone, or they don't quite understand it right now. But when there's no meaning, why am I here? What am I doing this for? Or something like that. There's a question. Depression can set in, like I said earlier, when people feel that there's no hope, that there's no sense of being. Why? Why do I even exist? And some might not ask themselves that because they don't know to word it in that way. But when people don't have a sense of existence, they don't have a sense of meaning, it could cause them to be depressed when they feel that they don't have any meaning. And that is the truth. That is the truth. My goodness. So being appreciated is a way to feel that we're important to others. We make a difference in their lives. And that's why I said earlier, people live all kinds of lives, do all kinds of things, negative, but they always want to gather a following, and there's always someone to follow any and everyone. When you feel like you're important to others, being appreciated is a way to feel that we're important to others. We make a difference in their lives. We are valued or even cherished. It is validating and meaningful to hear that we've done something
Back button. Enlist 7
helpful
items.
or
Double tap
that
to activate.
we are appreciated for who we are. Oh, yes, that we're appreciated for who we are. It connects us. As human beings, we long for connection. And we want to connect with people who think the way that we think, that value or the things that we value or devalue the things that we devalue. People who think like us. As human beings, we long for connection. During that precious moment when someone sees us, praises us, or validates us, there's a spontaneous connection that can arise if we're open to it. Feeling appreciated strengthens the bond between people. Being appreciated, being loved, strengthens the bond between people, and the appreciation causes people to love each other. Even though in general we're to love each and every one, but when people are connected and they have a bond, that love strengthens between them. So it helps satisfy our longing for healthy attachment. One and many people think that a healthy attachment It's just when you bond and you agree on the same thing, but it's not always healthy, okay? So, one way to create connection is to give to others what we desire. We can extend generosity by noticing positive things about others and finding some creative way to express kind sentiments toward them. Positive psychology encourages us to focus on the positive things in life, though without denying its painful side. Okay? I want to do that again. Positive psychology encourages us to focus on the positive things in life, though without denying its painful side. It's good for our immune system and mental health to nurture the uplifting sense of connection that can come from giving and receiving appreciation. Oh, yes. My goodness. Consider this. When someone offers appreciation, are you able to receive it as it floats toward you? When someone expresses thanks or offers appreciation, can you stay out of your head and simply let it in? Rather than second guess it, take a breath, stay in your body, and allow yourself to notice how good it feels to be valued and appreciated. Just notice how good it is to be valued and appreciated. Let it sink in, okay? Well, let's talk about our author here. It's John Amadio, and like I said, he's PhD. He's an author, and he's an MFT, is a coach, and has been a licensed marriage and family therapist for over 40 years. And this has been this article, I think it was released in 2016. A licensed family a marriage family therapist. That's what the MFT stands for. Okay. All right. Let's go right to our next piece here. It's also psychology today.
Back button. Double tap to
I
activate.
didn't do anything to that phone. It's just doing its thing here. It's doing its own thing. Okay. Let me see if I'm going to get to my other subject. Who's living your life? And I said, that's interesting. So we're going to delve into this and see what it's talking about because other people can be living our lives. What's that? Is it posthumously? Other people want to be us or want us to be, what is it, them? Or they want to control our lives. So we'll see which way this is going, okay? And this is Psychology Today. Who's living your life? Finding the balance between autonomy and emotional intimacy. And this is August the 1st. Okay, just a few days ago, a little over a month ago, 2025. It's reviewed by Monica Vilhor, PhD. This is Psychology Today. So, who's living your life? The first point here is listening to your inner voice is the first step for living an authentic, connected life. And see, this does go with when we just, everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. I truly, truly believe that. And so we have to live our own lives so therefore we can get that justified love and appreciation that belongs to us and that is not aimed at what they see, but aimed at who we really are. Because if somebody else is living your life, their life through you, then they're aiming that at whoever you portray yourself, which might not be your true self. Next point, listening to your inner voice is the first step toward living an authentic, connected life. Autonomy and intimacy need to be balanced for deep, meaningful connections. Our freedom to make choices and listen to ourselves is empowering, but it can also be scary. Okay, ourselves. See, you see that living for ourselves. It's wonderful. And that we have to live for ourselves. And I cannot make that point. I cannot be more serious on that. And I stress that here on Point of View. I stress it on Greater Gospel Temple and Inspiration God Ministry. I stress it on Mother's Board. Wherever I speak, I want you to be yourself. I want to be myself. So many times and for so many years of our lives, they were, I would say, wasted.
Double tap to activate.
On trying to please other people, trying to live the way other people want us to live, trying to do it exactly like they wanted it done. And then one day, praise the Lord, He let us see the light and told us, "You be who I made you to be." If I had wanted you to be like her or him, I would have made you the same person. But you are your own individual person. I gave you that individuality so that you can live the life that I have set for you to live and enjoy that life. Oh, yes, we are not supposed to be someone else. So, who's living your life? And this was um, during my 45 years as a psychotherapist. And this is, I think, yeah, I think this is the same author, I believe. Let's see. What is this? Yes, it's him. John Amodio. This is another one of his. Okay. Thank you, Dr. John Amodio, for this very valuable information. During my 45 years as a psychotherapist, I've often seen people who lament the choices they've made in life. They've been strongly influenced, if not manipulated, by people who think they know what's best for them. Oh, yes. It's fitting right in, isn't it? It's fitting right in. It's fitting right in. In short, they haven't been living their own lives. They haven't been living their own lives. So, whether it's about career or love, there's lots of pressure to get it right. So, please don't be harsh with yourself. If what I'm describing, this is Dr. John talking to us. He said, if what I'm describing fits for you, okay? Patterns often develop when we were young, uncertain, and our brain development was still a work in progress. Until we're around 25, our prefrontal cortex is still developing, which helps with decision making, impulse control, risk assessment, and not succumbing to peer pressure. It's not uncommon to make fateful decisions such as our choice of career or marriage partner before really knowing ourselves. That is so true. And that's why so many people can be so easily influenced through negative negative uh, information and things like that. And then there's the good too. They can be influenced good by the good, okay? So he's talking about the prefrontal cortex and how it's not fully developed until we're about 25. By that time, some people have been ruined, really ruined. But our attempt is to help people. Ideas of what I wanted, he's saying, this is Dr. John, to do with my life. I was told I was good at math, so I should consider accounting as a major. I went along with that until part way through my coursework, I realized it didn't resonate with me. No offense to accountants who provide an important service. The same story may apply to our choice of a partner. Observing friends getting married and creating a seemingly happy family may create angst about feeling left behind. FOMO, the fear of missing out, that's the acronym FOMO, okay? FOMO, the fear of missing out, may propel us to marry prematurely, leaving us to marriage unexpected consequences, okay? Pressure from parents to produce. Oh my goodness. I want to repeat this because I mispronounced the word. Well, I read it wrong. FOMO, the fear of missing out, may propel us to marry prematurely, leaving us to manage unexpected consequences. Pressure from parents to produce grandchildren, either to prove to themselves or others that they've raised successful children or because they really do care, may also add to the rush to gratify someone else's agenda instead of listening closely to what we really want. The fear of freedom. Many years ago, psychoanalyst Eric Fromm wrote Escape from Freedom, unknown in Britain as, well, it's known in Britain as The Fear of Freedom. He fled Nazi Germany to eventually settle in the USA. In this classic book, he explains that when we can't tolerate the awesome responsibility that comes with freedom, we turn to authoritarianism. We look to those who confidently tell us what to believe and how to live, however misguided they may be. Did not tell you it was matching up with the first article. God is amazing. I leave it to Him to give me what to talk about. He knows what we have need of, and I thank Him for blessing me to be obedient to Him. Apart from the social and political implications of not taking responsibility for our freedom, we may shy away from the introspection and thoughtfulness necessary to live an authentic and meaningful life. As Abraham Maslow knew, our desire to belong is an essential part of the hierarchy of needs. Our desire to belong. And people get confused sometimes and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just don't know. And then someone comes along with some idea and they think, maybe that's it. So I'll just join up with them. All kinds of things happen. So I want to repeat this as Abraham Maslow knew. Our desire to belong is an essential part of the hierarchy of needs. Being the lone
Back button.
wild beast,
Double tap to activate.
staying from the herd is fraught with danger. I guess every time I move close to this phone, huh, I don't know what the deal is, but anyway. So he's talking about being the lone wild beast, staying from the herd, straying from the herd is fraught with danger. Something in us needs to feel connected in order to thrive, if not survive. So true, so true. Listening and undo past decisions based upon others wanted from us, but we can cultivate the awareness and the courage necessary to live our own lives as best we can. So, here are some things we have control over that might help us honor our right to live our own lives. We can assert our needs and wants in a relationship. We can attune inwardly as a guide to when our feelings and needs are not being respected or when our boundaries are crossed. Boundaries, don't we talk about boundaries, developing boundaries, setting up boundaries so people will know how far they can go with you? Okay. Next, we can speak up at work to the extent we feel comfortable doing so, finding a balance so we don't our job unless we are willing to walk. Next, self care has our physical and emotional health. Those are the things, some of the things that we can do to honor our right to live our own lives. Next, balancing autonomy with intimacy. Much has been written about how we're a culture that worships individuality, which is the rugged individual. So, in contrast, honoring our interdependence is an important foundation for couples therapy, including the good work of Dr. Sue Johnson, the primary developer of emotionally focused therapy. Emotionally focused therapy. Intimacy cannot thrive unless we allow ourselves to be emotionally touched by each other. However, over connecting can become problematic if we respond to others without staying deeply attuned and present to ourselves. We need to find a skillful way to navigate the ongoing tension between the freedom to be ourselves and the pull to be responsive to others. Our ongoing task is to become adept at this most challenging and rewarding dance, embracing authority and intimacy as two sides of the spinning coin of life. Two sides of the spinning coin of life, being ourselves while staying open. This is good. This is our next uh, topic here. Being ourselves while staying open. The key to living our own lives is to listen carefully and consistently with our feelings, living close to our uh, felt sense of various life situations and challenges. But this doesn't mean isolating from people or ignoring how we affect, okay, or ignoring how we affect and are affected by others, okay? This doesn't mean to ignore that, how we affect others and how others are affected by us. So just the opposite, just the opposite. Our own well being is intimately connected to how deeply and intimately we relate to others. We're free to be ourselves, but if we want to find happiness, we also need to attend to others' needs. And Dr. goes on to say, I found that when people prioritize self expression over emotional safety, the relationship tends to suffer. When people prioritize self expression over emotional safety, the relationship tends to suffer. The key to living a happy, connected life is subtle and nuanced. If it were easy, we'd all be in relationship heaven by now. And that's for real. It's a lifelong practice of honoring our own experience and for ourselves, while also being curious about others, attuned and responsive to what they need to be happy. I'm going to do that sentence again. It's a lifelong practice of honoring our own experience and caring for ourselves while also being curious about others, attuned and responsive to what they need to be happy. What they need to be happy. So here's the good news: finding the balance between living our own life and caring about others brings the greatest joy and fulfillment. Oh, yes, it does. When we can be happy and cause others to be happy too. And there are people living their life, okay? And we talked about Dr. John Amadillo, PhD, MFT, marriage family therapist. Thank you, Dr. John. And thank you all for being with me today. Everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. Matters not what they say, deep down inside, whether they know it or know to say it, they're trying to block it, whatever. Everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. Everything, the animals, everything wants to be loved and appreciated. Oh, yes. And that's a fact. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday, which is September the 23rd, which is my brother Danny's birthday. Danny was born after me, 2 years after me, and Danny left us, went into eternity in 2006. And I miss my brother. Oh, I miss my brother so much, as well as all of my brothers and my sister Natalie. But God is able to give us the strength and the courage that we need. I preach it, I teach it, and I live it. And I thank Him for that strength and encouragement. And I pass it on to you. If you're having a hard time in that situation, if you're having a hard time living your own life, if you're having a hard time loving yourself, loving others, you can do it. You can do it. I believe it with everything in me, and I decree it in the name of Jesus. You can do it. Thank you so much for joining me here on Point of View with Ms. Shirley Polk. I am so delighted that you are here with me, and I pray and trust that the Lord will continually bless and keep you in His will, and that you will want to be kept in His will, and that you will learn, if you haven't, to live your own life while appreciating and loving others. Live your life to the fullest, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't seen my video, If My People, please look for it. If My People, please look for it. And it is my first ditty, Ditty, which means my first short song. All right, I love you.